we're back. Split screen experience. It's the OGs. 2 weeks in a row. No guests. No nothing. No huss. No fuss.
Yes, tried. We really did. But it kind of hurts when at least the third of Odd Horizons is actually living their life. Like, it's crazy. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. This is dedicate your 100% of your life to. But nah, they're out doing their own things right now. Hopefully they'll be back. The one comes back this week. The other one comes back the week after. Hopefully then we can get everyone. I have another 5-man, and it's gonna be a pain to adjust everyone's levels.
It'll be awesome though, because then when we go, hey Coleman, what's your favorite comedy movie? And he goes, Hateful Eight. I can throw something at him.
I'm just gonna say it. Not that funny of a movie. I didn't like it.
It's not good.
It's like Peter when they're drowning or about to be drowning, and he's like, I'm just gonna say it. I didn't think Godfather was a good movie.
I didn't care for it.
I didn't care for it.
It insisted upon itself.
And then everyone else was like, "What do you mean?"
It's a great movie, Peter. Which I will say, I kind of agree with him. I'm not gonna lie. The Godfather overall is not. It's not a bad movie, but it's not as good as some people want to make it out to be.
I have not watched it, so
I'll dedicate 12 hours. You can watch all 3 movies.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm gonna do other things.
It's a good call.
But in terms of gaming, we finally got the open beta for Valorant on Xbox after being in closed beta for probably about a month and a half now.
See, I don't know if it is a beta anymore. I think like the open beta was a couple weeks ago.
I think it's technically
Or did it go closed beta launch?
maybe. I don't know. But for the most part, it looks like the full game's here on console finally. You can't play cross-platform with other console, but no with PC, which is I'm good with. Thank you for not putting PC and console together.
See, I couldn't tell if they had like modified PC crossplay where like if you have like a controller set up to your computer, if they're playing, because there was an icon that looked like a PC tower with a game controller in front of it.
That's PlayStation.
Okay. That's what I got it. I wish we just used the brand logo, but
Yeah, I wish they did that for Siege too, but no, they have like the 2-person with the hexagon like overlapping. And then PlayStation, I think it's the same way. They see their logo, but they don't see the Xbox logo.
It's so stupid. It's right there. Like I don't, it must be some rights dispute.
But yeah, I texted my one buddy who I know is PC only, and who he's logged probably about a couple months of Valorant. And so I'm like, hey, is it cross-platform? Because we could play. And he's like, no, unfortunately. And I'm like, damn. Because I know you could have carried me.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, like, I would have liked to have seen... I would still like to see in the future optional cross-play between PC, where, do the Overwatch rule, where if one is in your stack, then you'll matchmake, like what Siege is going to do later this year. I think it's later this year, at least. But that, to me, would be, like, the full circle. Because that's the only time you should have to do it, is if someone's in your team doing it, so that way it kind of bounces out, but not really. But it doesn't matter. We don't talk to PC people.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of friends that are only PC. We're kind of Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. Speaking of Xbox exclusive, Avowed got delayed.
I did see that. It's still February, right?
Yeah, like February 13th or something like that. And the reason given was because there are too many games coming out that month, which was true. There's a lot.
I don't even remember what month it was coming out originally.
I believe it was coming out in November.
Oh yeah, because we haven't. I think we get the release date this month, but Veilguard, I would assume, is coming out in November.
I think that's kind of the looming, kind of snake in the grass for releases is going to be Veilguard.
And I think if done correctly, which I've already liked what I've seen from the gameplay. I'm a little bit bummed that they knocked it down to 2 squad mates instead of keeping it at 3, but I like the system that they're introducing. I like how it's more of Mass Effect where you pause the game and you can see what abilities you want to cast from who onto what target. Do like
Right.
that. I think Veilguard, as long as they don't do the classic BioWare bundle.
I mean, it's it's a studio that like you have a long lasting legacy of creating some of the best RPGs you've ever played. I acknowledge that out of their games, there's 4 that I like, and 3 of them are Mass Effect.
And the other one's Inquisition.
And one's Inquisition. Because I tried to play Dragon Age 2 multiple times because I've heard it's like so good, and it's like, no, that's like real Dragon Age. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go do that. And I went and tried to play. I'm like, I don't like this. Like,
I'm not a big fan. It's hard. 2 is really hard.
mm-hmm.
Like ungodly hard, and I
Yeah.
don't understand why.
Because it's funny.
1 is kind of hard. You can get by, but 1 is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Inquisition, I feel like, is the most forgiving. Later difficulties, obviously not, but
No. But
playing
like
on,
for
like,
like a standard playthrough, I would agree.
yeah, I think you're good. You can basically do whatever you want. You don't have to be super min-max with your characters. If you wanted to run 4-3, I think you can only. No, you can't have 4 mages. Because they have 3 subclasses and they have a companion for each subclass. So yeah, if you wanted to run all mages or all warriors with yourself being the 4th mage or warrior or rogue, you can do that.
Right.
Are you going to have probably the best time? Probably not. But you can.
Now, is Origins worth playing? I never actually gave that one a go. Because isn't that technically like one that came out after 2?
No, it's the first one.
Oh, is it? Okay, never mind.
It is graphically a bit rough.
Gotcha.
Obviously, for coming out.
Like 05.
No, I want to say 08 was its release date. But it's something. Like you can like they have different backstories for depending on what race you and class you pick. So like if you pick a mage, you're in the circle. Like you're a mage that's learning the magic arts. If you're a warrior, depending if you pick the noble or the other one, you're either in a castle or in the streets. I think the same is for the rogue as well. There might be something different. And then depending on what race you are, that depends on what area, like part you start off at. So like the beginning of the game is like pretty awesome. Because there's a lot of different things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things you can miss though. Because I found this person's ring. Like it's one of the first bodies I ever met. And at the end of the game, I'm talking to this person, and apparently that was that person's significant other. And I told them, "Hey, I found your husband."
Damn.
They're like, "Where's the ring?" And I'm like, "I sold it." My only dialogue was, "I sold it," and goodbye. And I'm like, "Well, shit." I'm like, if I say goodbye, it's not going to end the quest. So I'm just like, I sold it. And she's like, you heartless monster.
It was just a ring. What a coward.
And so I'm like, all right, whatever. Dragon Age Origins came out in 2009, by the way.
Oh, okay. That seems way late. Maybe that's why I felt like it was like one of those like intermediary titles. Like instead of doing like they did like 1 and then they do like 1.5 and call it Origin, something like that. Maybe that's why I associated it with. It feels like Dragon Age 1 would have been way earlier.
I am gonna kind of poop on it graphically for a little because Mass Effect 1 came out before it, and Mass Effect 1 looks kind of better. And for Mass Effect 2 to come out just a year after, it graphic wise, Dragon Age never really been the best. I know this, but I feel like it could have been better.
Inquisition, I think it wasn't like bleeding edge graphics, but I think it was on par for the industry standard at the time.
Yeah, definitely the 1 version, 360. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah,
360 was not known for its graphics. Although 2 and 3 Mass Effect, they looked good.
It's nice to see that they're, hopefully making a comeback. They really need to win one here, or I think there's a realistic opportunity for EA to shutter BioWare.
And I don't want to see that happen.
between the two games, the one we always forget, and then the other
Anthem.
one. Yep. It would be very hard, I think, from a bookkeeping standpoint, because while like Andromeda, I think we established did like technically kind of make its money back.
Yes.
It didn't make them money, which means it was a waste of however many years of development. And Anthem didn't make them money, waste of time and development. So there's a very real possibility that they would either dismantle the studio and separate and sell it off as parts for their other teams, or just lay off that team.
Oh yeah, Origins is also a non-verbal main character.
I too am a non-verbal main character.
It's like not Mass Effect. Mass Effect, obviously, Shepard speaks.
Yep.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas, where you get your line of dialogue, you choose which one.
I was gonna say Tav from Baldur's Gate.
Also Tav from Baldur's Gate. That too. I kind of forgot. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, Skippy and I are finally getting back through our duo replay of that.
Nice.
Oh my god. We did the Halls and Portal mission. That portal had 10 HP.
Yep.
And we barely got through it.
I barely got through the game in general on normal difficulty. So
I had an easier time going through and beating it on Tactician than story or balanced mode. I had a better time doing that, but I also was way more optimal than my story.
Right. Which like we talked about, I know I said this during like when that game was like hot off the presses and whatnot, but like for the advanced difficulties, being honor or tactician and honor mode, absolutely crank the difficulty, make you min max and be super optimized. That's cool and all. But on the standard difficulty, I should realistically be able to run through with any assortment of people and get through the game. Technically there's story, but the story difficulty makes everyone like have like I think like a third of their health. So it's like, I mean, there's no difference in like the achievements or completion status for doing it on story versus standard, but I want there to be some thrill of failure, but it shouldn't be I'm getting pushed to the ground and made to bite the curb.
Yeah, my balance was me as a fighter, and I had a cleric, a wizard, and a rogue. Didn't multi-class at all. My tactician, I was a full bard. I had a paladin cleric. I had a Sorlock, and then I had a Gloomstalker assassin. So I multi-classed the hell out of my tactician.
Right.
And then when I needed a little bit more AoE and could sacrifice single target, I had a fighter rogue barbarian. Kind of interesting. Fighter, obviously. Took 2 levels to get the action surge, which action surge is one of the most broken abilities in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I had the rogue. I went with the thief, so I could have 2 bonus actions. So I could rage and do an enraged throw the same turn. And then barbarian, obviously, I want to be raged and get that extra damage for throwing stuff.
Naturally.
Yeah, I've been wanting. I started a honor run. I haven't gotten past the Goblin Camp. I just every time I start playing, I'm like, man, I could be playing a game I haven't played yet. And then I start doing that, and I'm like, man, I could really be playing this game and having a lot more fun. And it's just become an endless cycle.
Yeah, that's why like I kind of like set in place for myself like little rules. Like if I just replayed a game, I need to play like 3 new games before replaying either that game or any other previously made title or previously played title, because otherwise I know I will just revert into not experiencing stuff, which is why I got into gaming in the first place, was to experience all these different, stories and gameplays and all that. So I have to tell my brain no.
Right.
Which, speaking of getting into gaming, one of the big things that I remember from growing up into gaming, and I know you would do to some extent as well, an icon of an older generation has been laid to rest. Actually, 2 icons have been laid to rest. Game Informer, which was like the biggest thing for me as a kid growing up, being like, oh, I love video games. It's like, well, you go to GameStop and for like $60, you'd get one magazine a month. I'm like, you're telling me for only $5 of not my money, I could get a marketing tool? Hell yeah.
Did you mean a year? $60 a year.
$60. Yeah, $60, $5 a month for 12. Yeah. What did I say?
You said $60 a month.
Oh, no, $60 for a year, $5 per magazine. And yeah, like, man, just flipping through that on the way home from buying whatever game or at least looking at games and just seeing all like, oh, like that's coming out. That looks cool. You know, it's where I found out about like either franchises that I just never got into because I just didn't own, you know, like any of the games in the series, which like I feel like so much of our gaming identity is determined by how many and what games parents bought us, you know, because when you're children, obviously you have to rely on birthday, Christmas, chore money, you know, selling off stuff, whatever, selling blood. Like
being a good boy, getting good grades.
right. Like you had to do all that kind of stuff to be able to get a game versus now it's like, oh, I buy a game and it doesn't mean as much to me necessarily.
Well, we got
But
money
like,
now.
right. It's like, you know, we're big spenders. I can afford to buy myself a game here and there versus going, please, mom and dad, I know it's the 2008 recession, but I really need this game.
Come on, Halo 3 came out last year. I haven't gotten it yet.
But ODSTs soon.
Which, underrated. I feel like not enough people talk about ODST.
I saw someone actively shitting on ODST the other day, and I had to comment on his page to make him look like an idiot. Because I'm like, I thought like ODST was actually held in like fairly high regards by the community, considering it's 3 again in terms of like overall feel. Obviously, story different, very different, and very cool story. But like everyone wants to, you know, rub one out for 3, and like I get it, 3's good, you know. But then I feel like also the Halo 3 diehards are the ones who say like Halo 3 is the only good one. And everything else is garbage. They won't admit to earlier or later games being any good at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, oh, ODST is actually like super recycled garbage, and the fact that people paid for it, and I'm like, it came with a completely different narrative. Like,
yes, the multiplayer was still Halo 3, but it was still a great game.
yeah, and it's like, and it highlighted my point about Halo, where it's like, it is okay for us to have games without Master Chief, same as Reach. Reach and ODST have that in common, and they're both high on my rankings, and I believe that might be a correlation, because I'm not saying I don't like Chief, but I don't think they know what to do with Chief. So
I think they kind of lost it after 3.
mm-hmm.
Because now Chief's kind of getting the Goku effect, where no one else can really do anything until Chief's around.
Right.
Which the Goku effect is, it doesn't matter how well a fight goes, all the other supporting characters are inevitably gonna lose until the main character, in this case Goku, shows up and beats the hell out of them after getting beat up himself for like 3 episodes.
Right.
That is the Goku effect.
Which is like, that's why, like, just give Chief a team again. Give me new Spartans to care about. Give Chief someone to care about. Then in co-op, if we ever get co-op again after they shit the bed on Infinite and decided they weren't even going to do it, in co-op you could play as the other Spartans in the squad. And then obviously you play less than 4, they would just be AI with, you know, whatever. But like, that's even built-in feature. You know, like you already have the model. It's not, you don't have to be Chief, Arbiter, and then 2 elites. Or in Halo 1, are you just 2 Master Chiefs?
You are just 2 Master Chiefs.
That's
yes.
what I thought. Like, you literally would have characters like, give me other Spartans who could do stuff. Make certain missions be, you know, because Chief can be one of them, I guess, if you really wanted to do that. And then just have certain missions where like cut scenes feature other characters doing things, you know. I don't know. It just, I know I feel like we keep getting in the same track of shit on Disney, shit on Marvel, shit on Halo, shit on Bethesda, shit on whoever. I know there's another one we make fun of a lot too, and I can't even remember right now.
Call of Duty, Blizzard. Yeah, you said Blizzard. Never mind.
Eh.
Yeah. Well, when you've been gaming for a long time, you want things to be held in high regard.
Right.
We don't. When us as the fans feel like that hasn't been delivered, we're more vocal now.
Yeah. The internet's a wonderful thing because I can directly bitch at the developers when they actively shit the bed. Like, and I'm not advocating for anyone like going online and directly like hate bombing individual devs. It's one thing if you message the studio's account, I feel that's a little different because that's their PR guy handling it, and it is the face of the company in the digital world, is their social media presence. So to me, that seems fairly viable to go, hey, like this sucks. As long as you're not calling in a certain type of threat to the office, you know, if you catch my drift, you know, it's fine. If you say this game fucking sucks, that's within your right. That's your prerogative. And devs, I feel like for the last couple years have definitely been slacking. I again, I don't think we've seen a next gen title yet in terms of something that's really pushing the bounds of hardware to its entirety. Like, I guess, like, what would be the closest one now would probably be Baldur's Gate, only because the amount of memory it takes. It's not even like the most graphically impressive game. It's just a lot of numbers that have to be stored. But like GTA 6 is looking like it'll be that first game, but that'll be
2026 now.
it's like, yeah, like 5 years into the like this console cycle. Are we going to see it come out towards the tail end of this generation and we're going to have to repurchase it on the next gen like we did for 5?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Like, I hope not, but also I say that now, but I know I'll buy it again. I know I will. Rockstar doesn't deliver anything that is just like, this is a complete dud, horrible. The closest thing to that is just Red Dead 2's online is garbage, but Red Dead 2 as a game is amazing. Like,
Yes.
so it kind of balances out.
Yes. If they added something fun to do in Red Dead multiplayer, I would play it.
Properties.
I just enjoy. I know. There's only so much they can do because it's horses and stuff.
There's so much.
I can't have my futuristic car drive in a tunnel for 50 loops and be able to go up and down 20 times. But damn, GTA multiplayer is just so much better. Even though they have been taking away content, those bastards.
Yeah, like, because yeah, everyone goes to the argument like the diehard people are like, well, like I've seen a bunch of people that like, not a bunch of people. I've seen like 5 guys on the internet who are like, Red Dead 2 Online is actually really fun, and it's just you're just not used to the limitations of the time period, and it's like, you literally there's nothing for me to spend my money on. I have gone and bought like every pass that's come out in terms of like not like their battle pass type thing that they did, but like the pass to do certain businesses, and like because like I have the opportunity to do like moonshining and this, that, and the other, the pelts and all these things, do blah 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 do, and I have all this money, and like in the old west, I'm basically a gajillionaire. I can't buy anything other than more clothes, but I'm not gonna do that because I already own clothes.
No, and hog tying your friends gets old pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Because
like
I would be the one to hog. We're like, all right, I'm about to start queuing for this lobby, and you just see me coming out of the trees with my lasso, like, get him, girl.
yeah, it's literally all the fun to be had in Red Dead 2 is you are responsible to make it.
Right.
It's like the
GTA,
launch 76 thing. Like,
yeah, they're like, no NPCs, you're the settlers, but also you're not able to make communities.
yeah,
But now it's better. There's NPCs. Still can't make towns, which I still feel like is kind of letdown. But hey, next year we're gonna be able to play as ghouls. I'm kind of excited for that. I can't wait
I
to
thought
start
that was
my
there
character.
now.
No, it's coming. I was rewatching bits and pieces of the Xbox Showcase that is up on our YouTube channel, by the way, if you're not watching this on YouTube. And it said it was coming in 2025. The
Okay.
cool part was.
I missed that part. Yeah, I thought that was all coming with the Shenandoah expansion.
No, that comes next year. I think
Gotcha.
it said early. Don't know when for sure, but can't
I
wait.
mean, I guess it makes sense because, like, I think they're seeing this. This is probably like the first overwhelmingly successful time period for 76. Obviously,
And-
like it took off post launch, but like with the success of the show, driving people to want to play Fallout with friend, I think splitting up this DLC into maybe 2 parts probably isn't a horrible call. So,
And that's what happens when you have a good video game adaptation. People want to play your video games.
Yeah, and if it's a shitty one, it makes me not want to play your game at all.
Like literally, Fallout 76 had like I'm pretty sure 1 million concurrent players at some point during when episodes were coming out, like back earlier this year. I honestly forgot when the show launched.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the number actually might have been like way higher than that.
Because I know they posted something about it on their Instagram. They're like, "Thank you for like so many concurrent players. This isn't something that we ever thought would be possible."
Right, and it's like I think you split the DLC, you buy yourself more time to work on something really interesting. Obviously, the map expansion's interesting, but stuff like how
Add
do we
more
keep that going?
expeditions. I
Yeah,
want more expeditions.
yeah, that's kind of the takeaway. I would also maybe like when I say a map expansion, not like we just got where like you actually click a door or something, and you get on a train, and it would actually take you to a separate section of the map while still in the same server.
DC. Go to
I don't want to go to
DC.
DC.
We can go see all of our friends
No,
that aren't alive yet in
no.
Fallout 3.
I don't have any friends in the capital shithole. I fucking hate Fallout 3 because it's just green.
Hey,
Everything's green.
Operation Anchorage was amazing.
Anchorage was cool. Especially for that busted power armor set that was glitched.
That never broke or
Yeah.
had like 65,000 durability.
Yeah, because it's the one from the combat sim.
Yeah. Yeah, and they never... I think Bethesda acknowledged it and they're like, fuck it. We'll leave it.
I think it would have costed them more to patch it than it was worth, like, the headache. So they're just like, just leave it. It's fine. Whatever. Sure.
Get the DLC done, you get the best armor in the game.
Yeah, you do. They literally have that for 2 games, but one of them is like not a bad time and one of them's a miserable time. Where in 3, if you go to Anchorage, you get that power armor set we are talking about, and then in New Vegas, if you go do Dead Money, one of the armors you can get in Sierra Madre is the best thing you can get in the game.
But
It's
Sierra Madre
awful.
sucks.
It's fucking horrible. Like,
it is so incredibly hard. You don't get a good weapon. You lose all your weapons. You have this like shittier version of the Gauss rifle, and you're like, go kill these guys and go do all these intricate puzzles, or your head's gonna blow off at any second. All right, whatever.
And I've also glitched it out. Like anytime I've been there, I think I've had to like load a back save at least once every time I've gone through that DLC because some step will bug out because an NPC won't hit their mark. Like I feel like a stage director would be like, "Oh, come on, you can't even hit your mark." Like they miss their mark that stops the trigger for the door to open or whatever. I'm sitting there like,
anytime now.
Come on, let's go.
But I think with that, we're gonna wrap up this episode. Yeah. Not much more to really say. Go check out our gaming stuff. Go check out our other weekly podcasts that we have on every Saturday. We're here every week doing the same thing, talking.
Every
maybe
week.
2, maybe 3, maybe even 5 of us. I skipped 4 for a reason.
It's illegal.
I won't go that far, but allegedly it is. This has been 28. We'll see you next week.